Welcome back to the Four Podmen Collectors Corner, the collectors podcast we bring you each and every week on the Dynamo Podcast Network. Head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe bell notification button. Audio versions of the show will be available through Spotify, Apple iTunes, or Podbean. And if you'd like to contact the show, you can find us on Twitter at @TPodmen, on Facebook, the Four Podmen, and also on Instagram. You can contact us through the shop, Wrestling Mania Dublin. Joining me today for a special episode of Collectors Corner, one that's been in the making for a number of weeks at this stage, David Byrne. David, how are we doing, my man?
I'm good. How are you, Niall?
Good, yeah, not about it all. Great to have you on.
Oh, thank you.
How's things been through COVID?
It's getting it lockdown got to me at a time, but hopefully the light's at the end of the tunnel. You know yourself, I'm off to Cancun in 2 weeks to work out with DDP, so that'll be fun.
Yes.
I don't care what restrictions are in place. If I have to pay the $2,000 fine at the airport if they stop me there, I'm doing it. It's just had enough,
And just so our viewers know, we will have David on to do a Poor Podman episode after that trip to let us know how the trip went, what happened, and how was Diamond Dallas Page himself. So really look forward to that one, a full trip report when you get back. Let's get into this Collector's Corner then. In terms of wrestling, when did the whole love affair with wrestling begin, and who were the key guys that kind of triggered your interest in the business, let's say?
Well, it was funny because there was a time when I hated it, but when my brother Jamie was in hospital, he had a lot of them on his bed that we used to play with all the time. And there were some like kind of outliers that you wouldn't expect to kind of take your fancy. So when I was a kid, I loved Billy Gunn and I loved Goldust, and Val Venus were my favorites. But my favorite of all time was Mick Foley. I remember watching the Hell in the Cell match when he was thrown off by The Undertaker, and I started crying because I thought he was dead. And then a few minutes later, he gets up off the stretcher. And I was like, no, David, he's fine. Look, he's getting up. And he gets back wrestling. He didn't watch the rest of the match to know what happened just a few minutes later when he's chokeslammed through. And he's like, oh, damn. So, yeah. And then, as you know yourself, like I went off it for quite a while. And I don't know, just kind of caught my fancy again a few years later. I don't know what it was. So, yeah. But it's more the old stuff that tickles my fancy than, this new stuff.
Yeah. So when you went off it, did you still keep in touch with it, or were you totally detached from it?
Well, it was, I still like watching the old stuff because, you get the old hits. And I kind of realized the groups and the wrestlers that I hated as a kid, I really miss now. Like I was looking at La Resistance the other day and I really miss them, and Eric Bischoff and all of those guys who I really hated and I booed all the time they came out, but I'd miss them so much now. I wish I had been able to appreciate that.
Well, the beauty of having the network or having DVDs is that you can go back and still appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in terms of the collection, you kind of, what would be the main focus of your collection? I know there's quite a variety of stuff, but what would be the kind of main stuff that you tend to look out for or go for when you're collecting?
Oh, absolutely. Figures, the DVDs don't interest me that much. They take up too much space and everything, but figures I like because number one, they can hold value, certain ones anyway. But as of late, and you know this yourself because you've got some for me, they rekindle my childhood. So there's a lot that I have here that I got as a kid that I ripped open as soon as I got them, and I'm annoyed at myself that I ripped them open. So I've got them now back on my wall. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to pick up the ones that you kind of you pulled the trigger on when you were a kid and stuff like that, and then you get them back. So it's the nostalgia effect, really.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, take us through some stuff then. Let's see some of this collection.
Okay. So we'll start off on the wall as you come in the door, and thankfully the door hasn't damaged any of them yet. And nearly all of these have been because of you that I've gotten. So at the center, you've got the Resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts poster, which is signed by Jake, Scott, and Dallas. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get them to sign it myself, but it was a really cool poster.
Awesome.
So that's the centerpiece of it. And then if you take a step back, this is everything when you come in. Most of them, as you can see, are Mick Foley figures. But up the top, there's more of the Holy Grail stuff. So up the top there is the DX exclusive pack that's signed by Shawn Michaels.
Lovely.
You'll see in my picture that, when I met him.
Yeah.
And this one is Undertaker and Mankind. Now, I haven't got enough Foley figures that I want this entire wall to be Foley stuff. This is another one of my favorite ones here, though, which is the Beer Money signed 2-pack
Nice.
that I both got when they were still together in Dublin. And this is a Commissioner Foley figure, which Jamie used to have, my brother, as a kid, that he opened and he never would give it to me. This is one that you got for me. Remember when the guard gave me a talking to?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Cactus Jack, which is a good one. And I'm really in a dilemma as to next time I meet Foley, which one to get signed. This one I don't need to do Love sign.
Yeah. Very cool.
Foley and Stephanie. I really like the design of this one. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I got this one off you when you used to get into TNA stuff.
Yeah.
Foley Samoa Joe.
Cross the Line series,
Yeah, they were pretty good. Foley the Rock, which again you got, and it's in fantastic condition for being all those years old.
Yeah. I love those old boxes with the artwork on them and stuff like that. They're really cool.
Fantastic. This one in series 17, Mankind. That's a really rare one as well. I couldn't believe when I looked at it, like the price that people are asking for it on eBay. Got it when it came out. Dude Love. He's my favorite on the figures because they're always so colorful and loud.
Yeah.
It's an old Hasbro-esque Mankind.
The retros, yeah. Very good.
Yeah, which I got in Spain. I got this one recently. It's the Mick Foley WrestleMania 36 one.
Very cool. Yeah, very nice.
Cactus Jack. So it's kind of getting boring with Mick Foley stuff. I also got this off you. It took ages to come in, I remember, because Ringside kept pushing it back for some reason.
Yeah.
And that's the Signature Series one.
Yeah,
and
I love the old boxes with the WWF logo on.
I know, they're brilliant. And I've got there's a Series 2, which is a Dude Love one that's coming in soon, and then there's also another Mankind one, which is kind of the Survivor Series one. That's coming in, should be there Monday.
Nice.
Then up here, old Hardcore Holly in the old days, signed. That was actually a funny story about that one. I bought that on eBay, or my mother did, and they sent us the Survivor Series Hardcore Holly, which is like a rubber one that was signed. Yeah. And we were like, guys, what the hell? And they said, oh, that was one of our stupid employees. So they said, we'll send the right one and you can keep the other one.
Oh,
so
that's okay. That's good customer service.
I know. Dallas. Which
nice.
You remember a few weeks ago I bought that off you with my face when I saw it at the shop?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you couldn't believe it that we had it. Yeah, absolutely.
It's another Dallas one there.
Nice.
For some reason, this one's worth more than that one. I don't know why.
Yeah, those Legends ones with that sort of goldy brown backing on them, they have shot up in price. All those Legends ones.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what it is. I know the backing on them is really cool. It gives you like a nice.
Yeah, the artwork is
like that. Artwork is amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now here's some random ones what I was talking about earlier, which you remember well. Rico.
Yeah.
Which I got for Christmas when I was like 6 and ripped up because I love Rico.
Yeah.
I worried my mother a bit. Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene. Nice.
Now these are the AEW ones that I have along here. So Chris Jericho Series 1.
Yep.
Which you have, don't you, I assume?
Yeah.
Nick Jackson.
Yeah.
I have to say I hate having the one there. I really want to get the second one, but it's they're hard to find now. John Moxley.
Yeah.
Dustin Rhodes. That's probably my favorite one.
Awesome figure,
yeah. Is he gone from AEW? I haven't seen him there. Basically.
No, I don't think so. He's still there at the moment.
And MJF is probably my favorite.
Yeah, it's cool with the scarf and all. Yeah.
Well, but he's my favorite wrestler in AEW.
Yeah.
I love that too. And then there's the exclusive little bit of the bubbly one.
Yeah, very, very good.
So above that, this was one my granddad got off you for Christmas one year. To get me for Christmas was the Bad Man John Cena.
God, yeah, that runs back memories, all right,
yeah. I got this off you as well. The Adrenaline Eddie Guerrero after they had their feud.
Awesome double pack. Awesome.
I know that whole series was very good. I think it had Edge and Kane in it as well when they started that. Undertaker won a 3000.
Nice.
Now I want to ask your opinion. If I was to meet Undertaker, would you get the 2-pack signed so you'd have Foley and Taker on the same or that?
Well, I'd wing it and try and get both.
Yeah.
I chance my arm, but I'd probably get the 2-pack one done. Just to complete it.
Yeah.
That's what I
Like, I
love.
hate the incomplete pack like the DX one. I want to get
Yeah,
Triple H on it. Speaking of the Devil, Series 1 Triple H.
yeah. Hunter Hurst, very
Yeah.
nice.
That's the only one that has a picture on the side. I
Yeah,
don't know. There's Sheamus's first figure.
very cool. Yeah,
And Sheamus, the Elite that I also got off you.
yeah. With the
And then
champions in our belts. Yeah.
on my shelf over here I have a few things. Power Rangers shot glasses. Mick Foley Funko Pop, because this is the Vinyl Aggression, the original Funkos.
So cool. I love them.
I know.
Yeah.
I used to have a Mr. Kennedy one. That was it.
I have a bunch of them here in a drawer. Like I have Punk. I opened them though. That's the only thing.
No.
Yeah.
One of 3,000 Foley has just signed.
Awesome. Mania 22.
That was one that I winged. You know, you say wing and I get both signed. I got that and the Doodle signed at the same time.
There you go. Sure, how could you not sign that? That's a cool box as well. It looks really cool.
Yeah. And then say the limited Mankind one, which very hard to find them.
Yeah, very, very cool. They're in great condition as well. They look
A
awesome.
bit of wear and tear, but like for how old they are, you'd expect that. Haven't put this one up yet. This was one I also got off you, which was Jeff Hardy's Glow in the Dark.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Actually, that's in my collection up above me there as well.
Yeah, actually, just at that, we both got this last week.
Hardcore Socko.
Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
One of his, I have a lot of books scattered everywhere because I've got some of the Dallas's books there. But that one, which is the sign there.
Yeah, very nice.
These are probably some of my favorites as well. So it's the Unmatched Fury signed by Foley.
Awesome.
And then I've got one signed by Brett as well.
Nice.
He even liked that. He was like, when he was signing it, he was like, God, they don't make them like this anymore.
Yeah. Was he talking about himself as a wrestler or the figure?
The figure. Because the guy who was with him, he was like, God, you don't see them like that. I was like, yeah, they don't make them anymore like that. And there's a signed Funko.
And shades.
And the shades, yeah.
I noticed the shades there. Yeah, very, very cool.
Very cool. I've got a couple of things in my wardrobe as well because I've run out of space. So this was the exclusive Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt that I still haven't opened the windows on it yet because I don't really want to. And
we're hoping that the stuff is in there.
Yeah.
Same
the
with
end of the road.
Seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool.
But I really want to see them. This is courtesy of you as well.
Awesome.
Got everything, nearly everything Mick Foley. I even consider the defining moments to be Mick Foley stuff. The defining moments rock
and sock, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got that new figure, the Rock and Sock figure, coming in whenever they release it, and then the defining moments matchup.
Beautiful.
Also, both of which I got off of you.
Yeah, no, they're very cool.
And this one is really cool that I got recently with stuff. It's that's the plates for the championship belt.
Yeah, belt plates. Very
cool.
Yeah, I love the design. Mick Foley's brilliant that way, isn't he? He lends himself to cool designs. Like even when you see a lot of, say, Cactus Jack figures or Dude Love figures, there's always a slight different little slant on them and stuff like that.
Absolutely,
so they look really cool. Yeah. How many times did you meet Foley? Different times, because you seem to have loads of stuff signed by him.
Yeah, well, some of the stuff I did buy, but met him 2009 first time, then 2015, and then 2016, so 3 times.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, and there's the World Championship, the WCW one.
Nice.
With Hollywood Hogan on it. Yeah. Oh, yes, and you got me to get these.
Absolutely, they were my recommendation to a lot of people at the time.
They are disgusting looking, they really are, but I would not wear them, but you've maintained they'll go up in value.
They'll look amazing when that Ric Flair signature is on them.
Yeah, I also do DDP yoga, so I don't know if you consider this part of the wrestling collection, but there's his jacked straps.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Good. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the collection goes. And then I'm not just a collector of wrestling stuff. You see, I've got the Breaking Bad figures here.
Nice.
Yeah, don't have the pops though. I sold a lot of them to you. And then John Cleese signed record, and then the U2 signed record.
Very good, Really
Well,
nice.
signed by Bono on the edge.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as it goes. But my room, as you can probably tell, is very small, so it's hard to keep all of the stuff in it.
You're starting to fill the space nicely. The
Mm.
figures look cool. What do you use to stick the figures on the wall with? So our viewers would know.
Oh yeah, the usual. These things, thumbtacks, they ruin the wall.
Oh,
With it. Yeah.
okay.
Why?
Okay.
What would you stick your figures on the wall with?
Now sometimes they do these things, like the Velcro buttons, where you put
Oh
one on
right,
the
yeah.
wall and one on the back of the figure, and they just sit. So they're pretty cool as well.
Is that like what they used to hold up frames? Is it?
Yeah, sometimes they hold up frames when you want to make them look like they're floating. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really cool, but it works great for the figures. You can pop two of them on it, and then the Velcro just lines up and then pop onto the wall. It's pretty cool. So it looks like the figures just float, so you don't see the pins around like that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, but less damage to the wall, which is in need of a paint. In my
Collectors never care about damage on wall. They care about their collection. In terms of, is there anything out there at the moment that you've seen or that you would like to get to add to the collection? Or any person that you haven't met yet or got their autograph that you would like to get?
Oh well, the latter question is going to be answered in 2 weeks because it's Dallas that I want to meet, so that's fine. The thing I really want to get, which I think if I can get this, then collecting everything else will probably be a lot easier. Is there was a Kmart exclusive Foley or Mankind and Terry Funk 2-pack that it's very difficult to get, and it's kind of a brown packaging and it says extreme as opposed to classics on it. You either can't find it, or if you do, it's incredibly expensive. So that's I think if I can get that down, then the rest of the collection of Foley stuff will be a lot easier. I nearly won it on eBay a few weeks ago, but outbid at the last minute. But I don't mind losing at that, because if someone thinks that they're going to win it cheaply and you force the price up so they pay more, then that's always a nice feeling.
So what price did you bomb out at?
Oh, he got it for it was nearly 100 that he had to pay for. Okay. So yeah,
it's not too bad. It's not
too bad. But yeah. I think at the time at which I entered, it was like 40. So
okay, yeah. That's reasonable, like for a 2-pack of that level. You know what I mean? That's a decent price, yeah. So that's really interesting. Yeah. So yeah, so all excited then about Cancun?
Of course I am. Yeah, so not just for DDP, but it's Cancun, like.
Yeah, and getting out of Ireland, which is most.
And getting out of Ireland, yeah.
Which is.
And I think there'll be a little bit of excitement on the way to the airport. Like you'll have a bit of a thrill, like I'm going to be stopped by the guards or not. So.
Yeah, it's like you're nearly cheating the system, isn't it? It's
like
you're trying to get around it and stuff like that. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a great trip, and we'll be getting a report off you when you get back as one of our episodes on the Podmen.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Now there's 8 work sessions between now and when I go, so we'll take them all off now.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see now if Dallas matches up to your expectation. Because I know you're a big fan and stuff.
Yeah, they're quite high at the moment, as you know.
Yeah. It'd be a long trip if there was an element of disappointment. So if DDP is happening to watch our Collector's Corner episodes, this man is coming all the way from Ireland to Cancun via God knows where to get there. And
Germany.
God knows how much money. So make sure you pop big for this guy when he arrives, and that you make sure that the trip has been worth the investment, let's say.
Not pop big, bang big.
Sorry, bang big, I should have said. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, absolute pleasure going through your collection.
No
doubt we'll have you on for a part 2, because if you're like me, you literally get stuff every week at this stage. So
yeah,
no doubt we'll have a part 2. This has been your 4 Podmen Collector's Corner with David Byrne, who is heading off to Cancun for DDP Yoga Seminar, which we look forward to hearing about. As always, YouTube, Dynamo Podcast Network for the episodes, Spotify, Podbean, Apple iTunes for audio versions of the show. And if you'd like to drop your comments and have a chat about David's collection, drop them into the comments there. Some fantastic piece there. Love that resurrection of Jake Roberts poster. That's awesome. Really good. If you want to contact the show on Twitter, @TPodmen, on Facebook, The 4 Podmen. And if you want to contact us on Instagram, you'll get us through the shop, Wrestling Mania Dublin. David, absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Niall. Thanks for having me. Look forward to talking to you after the trip.
Absolutely. Cheers, buddy.